Question 4. BEBA Limited is implementing its 3-year strategic plan. Explain how the company can utilize Mintzberg 5 P's approach to strategy implementation. So this question is about Mintzberg's 5 P's approach when it comes to strategy implementation in an organization. So this strategy by Henry Mintzberg, it offers a comprehensive framework for understanding and also what ought to be done in implementing the strategy. So this one is there so that you don't follow the traditional route of strategy implementation. So BEBA Limited can utilize this framework during the 3-year strategic plan implementation as follows. So according to Henry Mintzberg, BEBA Limited can implement the strategic plan using the following P's. Number 1, strategy as a plan. So when we talk about strategy as a plan, this one is explained as a consciously intended course of action. So the course of action, a careful crafted set of guidelines for dealing with situation. So here you talk about setting objectives, also outlining the steps to be followed, and also allocating resources. So BEBA Limited 3-year strategic plan falls directly under this P during implementation. So the company should, so for the company BEBA Limited to use this P or strategy as a plan, the company should do the following. So first of all, they need to clearly communicate the formalized strategic plan. When we talk about strategic plan here, we talk about the goals, objectives, initiatives, and this communication should be made to all the relevant employees. And then develop detailed action plan for each department and individual, aligning them with the overarching strategic plan. So each and every department and also the individual employees, they ensure that they understand the detailed plan. And then allocate resources. Don't talk about resources, talk about financial resources, human resource, and also technology. So this one is done so as to actualize the plan or the planned initiatives, and then establish timelines and milestones for tracking progress against the plan. So you ensure that you monitor. So establishing timelines and milestones, that one is for monitoring, ensuring that everything is done according to the plan put in place. And then conduct regular reviews to ensure adherence to planned course of action, evaluation, ensuring that everything is going according to the plan. And then the second P, according to Henry Mintzberg, is a strategy as a ploy. So when we talk about strategy as a ploy, you talk about a strategy as a ploy or is a specific maneuver intended to outwit a competitor or opponent. So the main reason of this using strategy as a ploy is to outcompete or to outwit competitor or any opponent. So this one is a trick that is normally used to achieve that objective of outwitting competitor. So mostly this one is as a result of responding to a competitive action. So because of activities of competitors, you come up with a ploy so as to outwit the competitor. So when it comes to BEBA Limited here, while implementing the broad strategic plan, so BEBA Limited should remain agile to use ploys. They should monitor closely and be ready to deploy specific tactical maneuvers. This can include sudden price drop, a new product launch, targeted marketing campaign, all this to gain advantage or defend the market share. So they need to monitor, watch closely what is happening outside there. And then if there is anything that they need to do, for example, maybe they need to do a sudden price drop, launch a new product, they do it so as to outwit the competitor. And then develop contingency plans for potential competitive action. So they ensure that they have a plan for any competitive action. And then empower operational managers to make quick, localized strategic adjustments as ploys without derailing the overall plan. And then the third P is strategy as pattern. So this one refers to consistency in behavior over time. So what has been done over the years by the organization or from recent times, whether intended or not intended. So this one is about how the organization has actually behaved in the past and continues to behave, revealing an emergent strategy. So what they have been doing and what they are continuing to do so as to come up with a strategy. We call that one strategy as a pattern. So BEBA Limited should analyze its past and current actions to identify emergent patterns. So they can review past decisions, encourage learning from emergent patterns, ensure that daily operational decisions and actions align with the intended strategic plan, identify and correct any inconsistent patterns of behavior that deviate from the strategic direction. And then the fourth one is strategy as a position. So this one is refers to the way an organization locates itself in its environment. So where the organization thinks is in its environment, and mostly this one is in relation to its products, services, also their target market and competitors. So this one is mostly about carving out a unique and sustainable market niche. So also in our case here, BEBA Limited needs to continuously reinforce and, if necessary, adjust its market position. So they do this one through clearly defining and communicating the company's unique value proposition, also investing in activities that strengthen its competitive position. So a good example is a product differentiation, or offering different products. It can also be cost leadership and niche focus. So this one is all about strengthening its ability to compete in its environment, and then monitor market trends and competitive landscape to ensure its chosen position remains viable and defensible. Make strategic adjustments if market shifts or competitive pressures strengthen its position. And then the last P is strategy as a perspective. So this one refers to the organizational fundamental way of reviewing the world. Here we talk about its values, culture, and shared mindset. So it is all about the collective brain of the organization and how it perceives and interacts with its environment. So how the organization is interacting with its environment. So BEBA Limited, we say this P is very crucial, or a strategy as a perspective, very crucial. for fostering or for ensuring collective buy-in and consistent action. So this one they can do it by cultivating a strong organizational culture that supports the strategic vision and values, ensure that shared beliefs and mindsets of employees are aligned with the strategic direction, promote leadership that embodies and champions the strategic perspective, and also providing training and development which helps employees internalize the company's strategic perspective, encouraging innovation and proactive behavior consistent with the strategy. So BEBA Limited, if they consider all these P's, the 5 P's, then the company will be able to approach strategy implementation in a more holistic and dynamic manner, accounting for both deliberate plans and emergent realities, market positioning, competitive maneuvers, and the underlying organizational mindset. So the organization should ensure that in its strategy formulation, it ensures that it follows or it considers all these P's. And then question B, examine the strategy monitoring and evaluation process. So when we talk about evaluation and monitoring process, there are steps that are followed. So we say it is an iterative process. So the steps involved include, so you have to establish, the first step, establishing performance standards. So the performance standards are what we call metrics. Yeah, so the key performance indicators that will be used to assess the success of the strategy. And then after establishing that one, you measure the actual performance. So here in this step, you collect data on actual performance of the implemented strategies against the metrics. So the metrics established in step 1, they are used to measure the actual performance. So also the data collection, we say, should be systematic and reliable. Then the third step is comparing actual performance with the standards. So the collected actual performance data now is compared against the predetermined standards or targets. So you do this one in order to identify any deviations or gaps between the what was planned and what has been achieved or actualized. And then the fourth step is analyzing deviations, variance. So the deviations identified in step 3, now you analyze them. And also when you're analyzing, you have to understand the reasons for the deviations. And then the fifth step, you take the corrective actions. So after identifying deviations or gaps, you take the correct action. Corrective actions are formulated and implemented. So these ones can involve adjusting the strategy. And then feedback and learning, sixth step. So the monitoring and evaluation process should incorporate a feedback loop that allows for the organization learning. So insights gained from the process should inform future strategic plan. So ensure that your monitoring and evaluation process has a feedback loop. So the feedback loop mainly will be used for organizational learning. Yeah, so this one will help you in making decisions in future. And then the last step is review the strategy itself. Into brackets, we call this one re-evaluation. So periodical, time to time, the strategy may need to be re-evaluated. So you do this one in order to ensure that there is continued relevance and effectiveness in the changing or in a changing environment. So the environment keeps on changing. That is why you have to always go back to the strategy to review if it is still relevant.
So if you like this video, you can always enroll with us. You'll be able to access more of these revision sessions, and also you'll be able to find well done lectures or pre-recorded videos for all the KASNEB courses as well as CHRP. And in case of anything, you can always reach us out. We have our contact details on the screen. Feel free to call, feel free to WhatsApp anytime. So thank you, and let's meet in our next session.